What's up, y'all? Hey, everybody. Don't mind that noise in the background. I stay in the hood. You know how things go. I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to y'all, but I'm not really as nervous as I was before. And I ain't really want to, rehearse how I was gonna come and talk to y'all, because I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just let God let these words just flow through, just talk to y'all, because I just, I want to encourage y'all. And I know back then, it was some time back, some months ago, maybe about 7, almost 8 months ago, when I said that I was gonna do a video talking about basically like growing with God, and just, a whole bunch of obstacles and stuff. Now, y'all, last year, and maybe the end of 2020, I was really going through a lot. And we're not even gonna talk about no punk ass COVID. Wasn't nobody worried about that. But it was mentally, and spiritually, I was going through a lot. And y'all, it took me so long to make this video, because I like to make sure that my spirit is really in the right place when I do things. And so, sometimes when I have a project or things that I'm working on, I'll prolong it, because it's just you know what, I'm really not feeling it today. I'm gonna just, take a step back, just pretty much reassess and clean up my energy, everything, so I can just come back to y'all correct and right. So, I was just pretty much, I'm gonna just make sure that I'm good before I come talk to them, because it's important. Yeah, and I remember back when I was going to church, shout out Pastor Troy, Evangelical's House of God. It's in North Carolina. It's a really good church. Now, I know back then I said, not back then, but the other day I said, I don't do church anymore. But if I was to ever visit a church, that would be the one church I would go to, just to go visit, because I really felt the Spirit of God. It's very just, like a Holy Ghost kind of thing, but you can really feel the Spirit. And my apostle, she was just such an amazing spiritual guide, But anyways, moving on, I remember it was one day, y'all, where it was an evangelist church. So they did things pretty differently there. They would have prayer days. They would have church on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Sundays. So it was a lot, but y'all, I remember it was one day I was there on prayer day. Apostle was very elderly. Even back then, she was in her mid-80s. And so she wasn't always going to make it to the prayer days. So she would call on the phone to be a part of it. And I remember she was saying, she was your spirit has to be right in order for you to do things, So she was pretty much, if your spirit ain't right, everything that you try to do is going to fail. You can try to go cash a check at fucking 20 different banks. And if your spirit ain't in the right place, honey, them checks is going to bounce every bank you go to. So it's always important that we keep our spirits, cleaned and just in a good place when we go do something, especially something big, honey, like cashing a check, because, honey, that's money, okay? We got to make sure that. But anyways, y'all, to get back on topic, so it took me a long time to, really want to come out and, talk, because I don't do this, okay? I don't get on video. I don't talk in front of y'all. I'm on my business, and I watch y'all from the sidelines, just like everybody else, but. No, so y'all, it was 2020, 2021, and it was in 2020, the end of it. But 2021, it was just a mess. It was just going through a whole bunch of shit, family issues, romantic issues, just a whole bunch. Now, y'all, back then when all this stuff was going on, I was really sitting up here trying to process every fucking thing. I was just because, the last time I went through some shit like this, Y'all, the last time I was going through some shit like this where it felt like all the walls was caving in on me and I couldn't really take it anymore is like when I self-destructed before I got saved, before I found God. And I'm not going to say before I found God because I always knew who God was, but I never followed his path until that year. So it was like, the last time all that was happening, like I self-destructed, like I had to face the devil, I had to face myself. So I was like, hold on, God, hold on. Like, I was just like, let me take a step back because I started to get scared because I was like, God, I know it's not this. Like, I know I've been doing pretty okay. Like, I'm not sinning too bad. And, I was just like, well, let me just take a step back. Let me just, pray about it, figure out what's going on, because it was just wild. And so, y'all, it was just like a lot. Like, it was a lot of like BS. And I was just like, I don't understand. Like, y'all, end of 2020, maybe 2 days before 2020 ended, I got into a horrific car accident. I mean, oh my God, the worst one I had ever been in. And it was bad. I'm talking about somebody could have died bad. And then like 2021, I was having family issues, like beefing with other family members, and then on top of that, I was back home with my mom. So of course I felt like I had downgraded, because I'm very independent, like Leo gang. Okay. I am very independent, like, I don't like to wait on nobody for shit. So me being home with my mama was like a downgrade for me. So that was another one. I could have went to jail for something. We ain't gonna talk about that. The feds watching. But like, y'all, I was clashing with my mama. Like, me and my mama couldn't get along. I was going through an intense heartbreak. I was having fucking problems in my friendships. I chipped my goddamn tooth. But still sexy as a fuck with this chip tooth thing. I'm gonna get my teeth fixed real soon because I'm just like, I want them pearly white looking good. But anyways, y'all, so like, was just really going through a lot, and it was just like a lot of bullshit. And I was just like, okay, I'm just like way in over my head. Like, I can't think straight. I can't really sleep. I'm crying a lot. And one thing about me, y'all, I'm a very spiritual person, and I feel like in order for you to be spiritual, you have to be a very strong person as well, and a strong-minded person at that. So, like, when I'm going through things, I'm not really one to go cry and go, like, I'll call, like, maybe, like, my closest friends, things like that, people that I really trust, to vent to about it, and I have to cry, like, one good time I have to cry and just be like, okay, like, all right, now I'm gonna figure it out, I'm gonna do whatever. But it's like, if I'm ever going through things really, even if it's like really bad, like, I'm gonna carry myself well. I promise you. Like, you'll probably notice something's probably wrong, like in my demeanor, like, I'll be kind of out of it, but you won't know, like, the depth of it, so it's like the depth of it. So it's like, I carry myself so well when I'm going through things, no matter what. But y'all, like, as I was going through these things, like, I'm trying to do more research, trying to do more things, like, to learn about myself and learn about things spiritually, and like, while we go through these things. And y'all, I was seeing angel numbers heavy. Like 2021, like, I was seeing, and I still see them now too. And that's why, honey, I'm protected. Don't mess with me, okay? God got my back. But anyways, like, I mean, heavy. And y'all, there was probably many times where we've seen angel numbers and we didn't pay attention. But it was really like God and our angels and our ancestors trying to get a hold of us, to give us like messages to let us know. And so, y'all, like, I was just going through so much shit and I couldn't understand. And I was just like, I was crying. I was having my moments in private. And y'all, like, when you going through things, it's okay to cry. It is okay to cry. It's okay to pout. Have your moments in private. Have your moments in private. Whatever you best know how to do to treat yourself, whatever vice it is, do it in private. Like, don't be going out here crying to nobody. Don't bring it to your job where you make your bread. Especially not these fake friends who just gonna tell your business anyway. Just like me, like I would always have my moments in private, no matter what it was. Like I could be at home with my family, but I'm locked up in my room. I'm crying, I'm praying, I'm talking to God, leave me alone. I'm staging, whatever, but I was doing it in private. A lot of things that went on with me, a lot of my family does not know. A lot of my, maybe 2 of my closest friends would know pretty much in depth a lot of shit that was going on with me. So it's I'm private about it. And then it's I know what best worked for me is privacy. I healed and grew up and I grew in private because that worked best for me. And it might sound cliche. We say, oh, move in silence, this and that, but you definitely got to move in silence when you making big boss moves out here. But yeah, when it comes to healing, you have to, I feel for me, I have to do it in private because that's how I'm going to grow. That's how I'm going to, pretty much face all my problems. And when you do, decide to face your problems and you have these emotions running through you, sit with them. Sit with them. Instead of sitting up here trying to go fuck it out of you, drink it out of you, smoke it out of you, just sit with it. Sit with your emotions. Let them run through you so you can feel everything. You have to feel what you're going through. So y'all, with all these things that I was going through, and of course me doing my research and trying to learn more things, I realized, okay, I'm spiritually leveling up. I'm going through a spiritual awakening. Now, y'all, when we think of a spiritual awakening, I'm looking at that as okay, I'm spiritually evolving. I'm leveling up into the next level of myself. And y'all, and to be honest, we're never going to be perfect. We're going to always be learning to the day we die. The only person who was perfect was, you think it, JC. So, I had to sit back and do the spiritual work in order to level up. So, I'm getting a little tongue tied. So all these things I was going through, they had a purpose, because it was days where I felt like I wasn't gonna ever get out my mama house. And y'all, I was even going through the lens of trying to do shit to make some fast money the wrong way. And, just to get the fuck up out of there. And then, with me dealing with heartbreak, I felt like I wasn't going to ever get over that shit. It was intense. It was intense. And then, I just told God, I was just you know what? I give it to you. I give up. It is what it is. And I had to sit up here and decide to want to grow. Decide to do the spiritual work to evolve within my soul, my mind, and my spirit. And I just told myself, I was just you know what, God, I'm gonna just go ahead, I throw it all to you. I'm gonna chuck up the deuces to whatever ain't serving me. Y'all, I let go of fucking friendships. I let go of romantic relationships. I had let go of toxic family members. I was just fuck this shit, because my well-being is way more important than this shit I have to deal with. And in my heart, y'all, I feel like I am a truly genuine person. I don't bother nobody. It really took a lot for me to really grow, because I don't feel like I was always a good person. And that's just me being real. I really don't feel like I was always a good person. So it was a lot of shit that I had to go through to mold myself into who I am today. So I was just it was just certain shit. I just was you know what? I'm just not standing for it. I'm just not. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. And so I was just you know what? So yeah, y'all, and I did that. And I was so you know what? God, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to let this shit go. I'm going to do the spiritual work. I'm going to get in tune with myself. I'm going to practice self-love. I'm going to love myself. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. And I sat up here. I planted all my prayers. And y'all, I write down my prayers. So that way I can remember exactly what I prayed for and keep praying for it. Like praying for protection, praying for, financial freedom, self-love, the man of your dreams, whatever it is that you want, but you water them. And that's where manifestation comes in. Now, I don't want to hear no drama from y'all because I know it's some people who don't believe in manifestation. But y'all, that's real. Manifestation is pretty much like watering your prayers. That's all it is. That's really all it is. No one's trying to replace God. No one's trying to say that there isn't a Most High, because I for sure know there is one. I know there is one. I believe in God, like, wholly. But when it comes to manifestation, the universe, this and that, God is the universe. God runs the universe. And so manifestation is pretty much like watering your prayers. You plant your prayers into the soil, you water them, and that's manifestation. Because when you manifest, that's pretty much already training your mind to feel like you have, what you prayed for already. So that's like me saying, okay, God, I want to get a 2-bedroom apartment, for my office and my YouTube channel, whatever I'm working on, before such and such. And if you manifest it and you work, and y'all, prayer without works is dead. Remember that. Okay? Prayer without works is dead. Okay, God is not a magician. My auntie used to always tell me that. God is not a magician. Okay, so you can sit up here, pray and pray all day, but if you don't get out there and go get it, you're not going to receive it. Okay, that's like God sitting up here saying he's going to promise to get you a new car. Okay, you pray and pray. Oh, Father, my car is not here yet. I'm not driving. I'm still driving my invisible boatmobile. No, sweetie, get up, go to the dealerships, go look for a car, and God is going to move into one of them deals to get you the car that you need, not what you want. And that's another thing we get mixed up with God. We sit up here and pray for what we want, and God is going to give us what we need. Okay? Amen. But yeah, I manifested for everything I wanted when I was going through that shit. Still things that I'm working on getting, but y'all, I was just like, you know what? I'm about to move out. I'm about to get me a place before Thanksgiving. Blase. I'm about to get my CNA. I'm about to get over this fuck ass nigga. I'm about to do whatever it is that I gotta do for myself. Like, I was just like, you know what it is. And so I'm over here orchestrating my plan to move out. And one thing about me, y'all, like, I sit up here, I say, you know what, I move in silence, but it's some people I like to sit up here and tell. Like, I was telling certain family members, oh, girl, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that before Thanksgiving. You ain't gonna this and that. All right, and one thing you have to do about people like that, you have to make liars out of them. Okay, you have to make liars out of them. It was some of my own family members who didn't have faith in shit that I was doing. Nothing that I was doing. And y'all, like, I had to really learn how to tune most of that shit out, because all it is negative feedback. And all you really doing is, like, especially me, one thing about me, y'all, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, okay? No matter how long it takes me to do it, I'm going to do it. I don't talk for my health. I'm not sitting up here trying to put on no front for nobody. I'm not trying to impress nobody. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So, like, I had to start keeping things to myself. Plans, projects, interviews, whatever's going on, I kept it to myself. Because, y'all, one thing about people, even family, they don't be happy for you. They don't be happy for you. Okay? Like, it's sad to say, but secretly, some of these friends, these families, these colleagues, co-workers, they don't be happy for you. They don't. Y'all, one thing I learned in this life is to keep your matters to yourself. Whether it's about drama, whether it's about you trying to get an interview or you trying to work somewhere, keep it to yourself. Because most of these people out here, especially ones that's so keen to getting close to you, wanting to be so cool, y'all, Okay, like these people, they just working to get close to you just so they can find out what you're doing, so they can steal your ideas, so they can pray against what you're doing. So they, like, envy is real. Envy is real. And baby, I done witnessed it in some of the most wicked ways. It is so real. And I've even been on the other hand of that stick before. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm really not. And so y'all, like, people don't be happy for you. You tell people, oh yeah, you know, I got an interview for this job. They go home and pray against you. Okay, get right on their knees and go pray to the devil that you don't make it. I mean, we'll pray against you. That's why, honey, when people be talking about some, oh baby, I'm gonna pray for you, I'm gonna this and that. No, the hell you ain't. No, you ain't. Baby, I don't want you praying for me. Honey, I don't know what God you praying to. I don't know what you praying about. I just don't. I don't feel like you sincere enough. Like, I don't like for nobody to pray for me. Nobody. Like, unless you was like my apostle, the only person I trust to do that, I don't want nobody praying for me. Not even family, half the time. Like, I don't want none of y'all praying for me. I'm gonna pray for myself. I'm gonna pray for myself. Okay? Because these people don't be happy for you. They don't. They don't. Keep your moves private, baby. Keep them private. Keep them private. Don't talk to nobody. Don't tell a mouse. Okay? Don't whisper it. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Don't do none of that. Honey, I really feel like God was just, trying to mold me into this, like, divine being. Like, because y'all, like, can't nothing faze me now. Like, I'll go through shit and will still walk around with a smile on my face. Like, I'll be going through so much. I mean, being behind on bills, whatever it is, and you'll never know. Because God just molded me into, like, this divine being, just somebody who's just like a master at being themselves in human form. Because it's just me and God. We just walking hand to hand, just showing me the way. And y'all, people be like, oh, well, you still cuss and you dress like this, and like, because I'm a sinner. Okay, I'm like, no one was here to be perfect. I'm not out here killing nobody. I'm not jumping from man to man. I'm really out here doing things like the way I think they should be done. I didn't want to be doing all this cussing in this video, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. But I know it was one quote that I wanted to leave y'all with. I was watching an interview with Ciierra and RuPaul one day, and she had said something so beautiful. I think she said, all the scars that you gain from your obstacles in life are really your beauty marks. And I truly do believe that, y'all, because everything that I went through, like, and even in my whole life, it didn't just have to be last year. I'm so thankful for it because I'm growing and I'm continuing to grow. And I'm continuing to master a whole bunch of things. So it's like, when I look at some things, I feel like, you know what, I overcame that. I overpowered that. That didn't break me. And I'm so happy because it was some days I really wanted to give up. I'm just trying to say, like, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on God, most importantly. If that's your thing. For me, like, don't give up on God, because, man, like, he's gonna show up in the least expected times and really show out for you. If you just wait on him and believe in him, oh my God, the things that man can do. Jesus, I still get goosebumps thinking about it sometimes. How I know I'm really chosen and protected, y'all, whenever I try to get out of line, I try to do something that's not of my character. God gets me back in line, I mean, really quick. So y'all, like, it's something, man. Like, it's something. It's unexplainable. I'm gonna close out this video with saying thank you to everyone who did watch and who supported me. I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to Africa. Y'all are my biggest supporters, as annoying as y'all can be. Shout out to y'all. Y'all just be blessed out here. Be blessed and know you're not alone. Know you're not alone.